Hey there, you, me, and DC fans, and welcome if you're new. I am the Stepson of Krypton, coming to you today with the next in the All Fight Month. This is Superman number 33. This time we have Lex Luthor versus the Demon Etrigan. All right, guys. I know we've got a lot coming out. We had 7 different comics we are doing this week alone. We're trying to get them out as fast as possible for you guys, and I apologize. I'm trying to do better about not wearing these. I know a lot of people don't like them, but you can see those wonderful bright lights right there. They just kill my eyes. So we won't focus on that, guys. What we will focus on is getting right into the comics. So let's go. All right, guys. Forewarning for this one here. This is Superman 33. However, we are going to see very, very little of Superman in this one because the issue opens up to Lex in hell, where, I mean, I feel like most people would feel like he belongs. And he's kind of monologuing his life and the choices he's made. But Neron has a deal for him. Now, if you are following along in the Justice League Unlimited series we are doing, Neron is coming into the picture. We're slowly building up to him. And for those of you who might not know him, he took over as ruler of hell after Lucifer left. And the whole Lucifer has left ruling hell has occurred several times in the comics and throughout, other various people have kind of taken over for him. And if you want to see that in live action, my Arrowverse fans know you can go check out the show Lucifer. It's on Netflix. It is a great show. I definitely recommend checking it out. However, we suddenly see a beautiful double page Lex in his power suit, and I mean the armor one. Not I know he calls his actual suit his power suit as well. And the demon Etrigan crashing through a wall. And I love that they used the destroyed bricks to pose the question: does Lex Luthor have a soul? Lex is still coping with his death and rebirth. And much like Tony Stark, he learns from his mistakes. But did he cheat death? It's a lot to contemplate as you fight a literal demon. Lex doesn't see things in terms of good and bad. He is more of a if he's right or wrong type of guy within his own morality, what he feels is right and wrong. Unlike Superman, who he kind of does what he believes the general good or what is generally considered right, not necessarily by his own code. As Lex and the Demon continue to fight, we're getting these flashes of the choices Lex has made from the ending of working with Superman to what looks to be the android Lex in the recovery supersuit that we've seen. If you've been keeping up with this Superman series here, issue number 24, I believe it comes into, and other battles that have been taking place. All the while, Lex still believes that even when Darkseid shows up and he were given the power, he is still going to do what he believes is best. But what will happen next time Lex dies? Well, he's about to find out because Etrigan lets out a massive hellfire attack and barbecues Lex. KO. Lex loses. Winner, the demon. Now, as we watch the regeneration of Lex, we're treated to a little of Etrigan's rhymes. Now, fun fact, when Etrigan was introduced by Jack Kirby in The Demon #1 in September of 1972, he came in with that was kind of his shtick. He came in with the rhyming thing. And over the years and the different writers, they have taken it away and brought it back. And you'll kind of see that here in a little bit. But it is now time to choose their next form. Now we know Luthor's probably going to go with something tech based, but what other forms can Etrigan take? Well, if we go by Earth 17 version, at one point he was combined with Superman. He's been bonded with Batman. He's even been part of the Sinestro Corp, the Yellow Lanterns. Of course, Lex comes out sporting a nice mechanical suit with the good old symbol of the House of L. Like in there's a new 52 version after Superman dies. Lex kind of takes up the mantle as Metropolis's protector, and that's the suit, right? Mostly blue. It's got the red accents and obviously the symbol on there. While Etrigan has the armor made from Merlin himself. It's funny how much, kind of like Lex hates Superman, but still ends up wearing his symbol when he needs it most. But it looks like the second round, we're going to Lex's office, where Etrigan's beginning to question if the heart really wanted him to win, as he thought in the first round, they were kind of in his home court. But as usual, Lex has a plan. We then shift back in the real world, and we're back at the fortress with Lois, Superboy Prime, and the Superman robots, where they are still trying to get Laura's Kryptonian, the hidden Kryptonian archives downloaded into the one of the Superman robots to get the information to Time Trapper, aka Doomsday. But Lois is still curious why Superboy Prime is here. Like, shouldn't he be fighting the Dark Legion in the future? Is he lying about why he's here? According to some, he ran to avoid being erased. And they kind of start arguing a little bit back and forth, but regardless, they get the archives downloaded. But wait, the crazy advanced Superman robot that can fly and mimic his powers has a hard drive that can only hold that much data for 2 hours. Because of course, why why not? That's a thing, right? Hard drives can store all the data, but there's just a limited time they can store it. Like what the oh, back in the fight, Etrigan is getting manhandled by Lex in his super armor. But Etrigan still can't figure out why he's wearing the symbol of the man he hates. But as usual, the rhyming demon is overthinking things. And as they continue to go back and forth, Etrigan just can't let it go about his armor. And Lex, and I think we're all about done with the rhyming, decides to tell him why he chose the armor. And for those of you who've never read the new 52 comics or don't know about this particular armor, it's apocalyptic technology, complete with a mother box, which Etrigan is going to take right to the face. And Etrigan takes a boom tube right to the head, to which he technically no longer has one. KO, winner, Lex. Now we're 1-1. Having won the battle, they prepare for the next round. Lex is still contemplating his exile after fighting with his Lex clone, but it would seem he knows how to win. Lex seems to finally know who he is, but now we're down in hell, where it would seem Etrigan will have home court advantage this time. He's even chosen to form 3 of the rhymes. See, I told you that would come into play later. And Etrigan, too, has taken to an S on his chest, but not as the symbol of the House of L, but for suffering. However, Lex isn't convinced that Etrigan has the advantage here. As the comic has been reminding us all issue, this isn't his first time in hell. And we see the form Lex has chosen, where he is just hanging brain. After all, who wants to fight a naked man? And like, just to bring it up, how come we couldn't get like the naked Zatanna or Harley in the last fight? Like, this is bullshit. But it isn't the dong that Etrigan should be worried about. It is the markings on Lex's skin, the runes. Runes for the preparation for possession. Gone, gone, the form of man, rise the demon Etrigan. Now, sorry for the rhymes, but Lex has now become Etrigan. They are now bonded. But what of the other host? He has returned to Jason Blood. Now, for those of you who aren't so familiar with the demon, Jason Blood was the knight that Merlin used as the host for Etrigan to fight evil way back in the time of Camelot. Now, though, he is free. For about 3 seconds as Lex cuts his throat with his demon hand. KO, winner, Luthor. In the quickest match thus far, I might add. However, there's still one last fight, and that is between the demon and Lex. As we know, Lex will not be controlled by anybody. And it's shown because it would seem he's able to return to his original, still naked form on his mission to become a god. But then a familiar voice calls his name, and we see a bloodied Grodd calls out to him telepathically from the watchtower to tell him they have been betrayed. But by who? Lex wonders. Of course, we all know the answer. Booster. Keep in mind, at this point, Booster side has already killed World Forger, but Time Trapper wants a fight now. As we see at the bottom, Superwoman, Superboy Prime, and the Superman robot race to give Time Trapper that important information. That we will have to wait for the next issue. And that is where this one ends, guys. I thought pretty good. It was a good fight. I like to kind of see, Lex having his midlife crisis, wondering where he's wanting to go. Again, a little weird that we got like 3 panels if of, and then not even the real Superman. They're clones and Superboy Prime, but to have a Superman comic that didn't have Superman in it, it was a little strange. However, it progressed the fights along, so I'll take it. Let me know down in the comments how you felt about this one, how you're feeling about the KO event. And remember, I'm trying to now pin in the comments down below the link to the playlist Mantis had created that has all of the KO event in it. So if you want to catch up, if there's any issues you have missed, and while you're doing that, you might as well go ahead and give the video a like, subscribing to the channel, and having the bell notifications clicked so you do not miss out on any of the KO issues that we have coming out. Like there was 7 we have to do this week alone. We are going to get like about a week or so break here coming up on New Year's, and then they're going to be right back into it. So have the bell notifications clicked. You will get alerted when those happen. And keep this video as short as humanly possible. That is going to do it for me on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, guys, I'll see you then.